Day 32 on the Appalachian Trail. I found something today that shouldn't exist. A staircase, stone, ornate, standing alone in the middle of the woods. No building, no foundation, no ruins around it. Just 15 steps leading up to nothing. Every hiker I asked about it said the same thing. Don't climb them. Walk away. Pretend you never saw it. But I'm a rational person. I don't believe in superstitions. So I climbed them. And now I understand why everyone who sees these stairs is told to walk away. Because what comes down isn't always what went up. My name is Alex, and I'm a thru hiker. For those who don't know, that means I'm attempting to hike the entire Appalachian Trail, all 2,190 miles from Georgia to Maine. It's a journey that takes most people 5 to 6 months. Months of isolation, physical exhaustion, and mental challenges that push you to your absolute limit. But it's also beautiful, transformative, life-changing. Or at least that's what I thought before I found the stairs. I'd heard rumors about them, of course. Every long-distance hiker has. Strange structures in the woods, stone staircases that appear in the middle of nowhere, leading to nothing. Park rangers won't talk about them, and the hikers who've seen them, they refuse to discuss what they found at the top. I thought it was just trail legend, urban myth, something bored backpackers made up to scare newbies. I was wrong. It was my 32nd day on the trail. I was somewhere in the North Carolina section, deep in the Nantahala National Forest, the kind of place where you can hike for days without seeing another soul. Just you, the trees, and the sound of your own breathing. I'd gone slightly off trail to find a water source, a small stream I'd marked on my map. The detour was only supposed to be a quarter mile. But as I pushed through the undergrowth, I saw it. The staircase. It was made of stone, old stone, the kind that's been weathered by centuries of rain and wind. 15 steps, maybe 4 feet wide, with ornate railings carved with symbols I didn't recognize, and it just stood there, in the middle of the forest, surrounded by trees, leading up to absolutely nothing. No building, no platform, no structure of any kind, just stairs, ending in midair. I stood there for a long time, just staring at it. My rational brain tried to make sense of it. Maybe it was the remains of an old homestead. Maybe the house had rotted away, leaving only the stone steps. But that didn't explain the condition of the stairs. They were too intact, too well preserved. And the carvings. They didn't look like anything from the 1800s. They looked older, much older. I pulled out my phone to take a picture, but my battery was dead. It had been fully charged that morning. I tried my camera, also dead. Both devices, completely drained. That should have been my first warning. I set up camp about 100 yards away. Close enough to keep an eye on the stairs, but far enough that I didn't feel watched. Because that's the thing. Standing near those stairs, I felt like something was observing me, waiting. That night, I couldn't sleep. I kept thinking about the stairs, about what might be at the top, about why everyone said to stay away. And the more I thought about it, the more I needed to know. The next morning, I made my decision. I was going to climb them. I know how stupid that sounds now, but in that moment, it felt like the only logical thing to do. I'm a scientist by training. I don't believe in ghosts or curses or whatever superstitious nonsense keeps people away from old structures. So I approached the stairs. The moment my foot touched the first step, the temperature dropped. Not gradually, instantly. It went from a comfortable 65 degrees to what felt like 40 in a single second. I could see my breath. The forest went silent. No birds, no insects, no wind, just nothing. I should have turned back, but I kept climbing. Step 2, step 3. With each step, the air got colder, heavier, like I was walking underwater. My ears started ringing, a high-pitched tone that made my teeth ache. Step 7, step 8. I looked down. The forest floor seemed farther away than it should have been. I'd only climbed 8 steps, but it looked like I was 30 feet up. Step 10, step 11. The symbols on the railing started to glow, faintly. A sickly green light that pulsed in rhythm with my heartbeat. Step 14, step 15. I reached the top, and I saw the forest. But not my forest. It was the same trees, the same trail, the same mountains in the distance. But everything was wrong. The trees were black, not burned, just black, like they'd been dipped in ink. The sky was dark, even though it was mid-morning, not night dark, just void, like looking into deep space. And it was quiet, so quiet I could hear my own heartbeat echoing back at me. Then I heard the voices, whispers, dozens of them, coming from every direction, speaking languages I didn't understand. And underneath it all, a low humming, rhythmic, hypnotic, like a chant. I saw movement in the trees, shapes, tall, thin, wrong. They weren't walking. They were gliding, floating between the black trees, and they were getting closer. I ran, back down the stairs. I don't remember the descent. I just remember the feeling of those things behind me, reaching for me, almost touching me. I hit the forest floor and collapsed, gasping, shaking. When I looked up, the stairs were gone, just gone, like they'd never been there. I should have left immediately, packed up my camp and gotten as far away from that place as possible. But I couldn't move. I was exhausted, drained, like I'd just hiked 20 miles instead of climbing 15 steps. I passed out. When I woke up, it was late afternoon. I'd lost 6 hours. I packed up and got back on the trail as fast as I could. I didn't look back. I didn't take any detours. I just walked, mile after mile, putting distance between me and those stairs. But something was wrong. The other hikers started avoiding me. At first I thought I was being paranoid, but then I'd pass someone on the trail and they'd go silent, stare at me, then quickly walk away. One guy actually stepped off the trail into the brush to let me pass, like he didn't want to get close to me. At the next shelter, I tried to join a group for dinner. They all made excuses and left. One woman looked at me and whispered, "What's following you?" I didn't understand. "Nothing's following me," I said. She pointed behind me. "Then what's that?" I turned around. There was nothing there. But when I looked at the shelter's window, at my reflection, I saw it. A shadow, tall, thin, standing directly behind me. I spun around. Nothing. Looked back at the reflection. It was still there, closer now. I ran, out of the shelter, into the woods. I ran until my lungs burned and my legs gave out. When I finally stopped, I pulled out my phone. It was working again. I opened the camera and switched it to selfie mode. And there it was, in the screen, standing right behind me. So close I should have felt its breath on my neck. But when I looked over my shoulder, there was nothing. It was only visible through reflections, through cameras, through glass, but not to the naked eye. I started researching, using what little cell service I could find. I dug through forums, old blog posts, anything I could find about the stairs, and I found others. Dozens of stories. Hundreds maybe. People who'd climbed the stairs and come back. Different. One post stood out. It was from a hiker who'd climbed the stairs 5 years ago. He described the same thing I experienced. The cold, the void, the whispers, and the shadow that followed him. But his post ended with something that made my blood run cold. "I'm not me anymore. I look like me. I sound like me. I have all my memories, but something's wrong. I can feel it. I'm not the person who climbed those stairs. That person is still up there, still standing at the top, looking down at a world he can't return to. And the thing that came back in his place, it's learning, getting better at being him. Soon, no one will know the difference." The post was dated 5 years ago. There were no updates. I looked at my reflection again, at the shadow behind me, and for the first time I asked myself the question I'd been avoiding. Am I still me? I have all my memories. I know my name, my family, my life before the trail. But there's something off, like I'm watching myself from the outside, like I'm a passenger in my own body. And the shadow, it's not following me. It's waiting for me to finish the trail, to return to civilization, to go home, because that's what it wants. That's what they all want. The things on the other side of those stairs. They want to leave the void, to walk in our world, to wear our faces. And the stairs, they're not portals, they're exchanges. You climb up, something climbs down. You think you came back, but you didn't. The real you is still there, trapped at the top of those stairs, watching as something else lives your life. I'm writing this from a motel in Damascus, Virginia. I left the trail 3 days ago. I couldn't finish it. I couldn't risk getting closer to home, to my family, because I don't know if I'm really me. I look in the mirror, and I see my face, but behind me, always behind me, is that shadow, watching, waiting, and sometimes, just for a second, I see it smile. If you ever hike the Appalachian Trail, and you find stone stairs in the middle of the woods, don't climb them. Not because of what you'll see at the top, but because of what will climb down in your place. The stairs are still out there, waiting for the next curious hiker, the next person who thinks they're too rational, too smart to believe in warnings. I was that person, and now I don't know what I am. If you see me on the trail, keep walking, because the thing wearing my face, it's not me anymore. Thank you for climbing the stairs. Like and subscribe for more content.